Growing up, my best friend was McClean Fletcher, Sally Evans McClean Fletcher, and been best friends since really about first grade.
I don't remember life not knowing McClean. I knew McClean from the time we were little. We grew up together in the same neighborhood. Our houses actually backed up to each other.
We did youth group together, talked to her, every single day.
Some of my best memories of McClean are spending the night over there. She was always the organizer of the friends, always getting everyone together, and we always spent the night over there on Friday nights.
We both wanted to go to medical school. In fact, I believe that she had that aspiration even before me. She has always had a passion for kids. She loves children, grew up babysitting all the time, always wanted to be a pediatrician. She just knew that from the get-go and never really wavered from that.
It was July 31st, 1996. It was a weeknight during the summer.
I will never forget the night that I got a phone call from McClean's mom. McClean had been in a car accident and was killed.
She's so young. We were just teenagers. We were, 19 years old. We were the best part of our life. You just wonder, how does it happen?
McClean was just loved by everyone and had so many friends, and it was just really a tough time. She had been my roommate my freshman year, and so having to go back to school without her was just something that was just hard to even imagine.
It was in the mid-90s when I had graduated from graduate school in counseling psychology, and I had experienced the unresolved grief of my mother, and I knew how important it was to have a place like the Dougie Center in Portland, Oregon, and was looking around and hoping that one day Mississippi, or at least Jackson, could have a grief support center. I approached the bishop of the Episcopal Diocese in Mississippi, Bishop Chip Marble, and asked him about the possibility of a grief center in Mississippi. And immediately he thought of hospice ministries, because he knew that the Fletchers and hospice ministries were grieving the death of McClean Fletcher, and knew that that might be a really good fit to bring a grief center for children and adolescents to hospice ministries and then on to Mississippi.
When we opened in November of '99, the facilitators were a little nervous. The two staff members were more than a little nervous. And in walked 10 boys, ages 8 to 10 at the time, and their parents. After our first night of group in November of '99, we realized we had succeeded. The children bonded, they laughed, and they talked about their hurt. They were hungry for someone who understood what they were going through.
The Childhood Bereavement Estimation Model estimates that 1 in 14 children will experience the death of either a parent or a sibling before the age of 18 years old. In the last 10 years, we have served somewhere between 100 to 160 children each year. The center obviously serves the Jackson metro area as our main source, but last fiscal year we served 10 different counties in Mississippi. We do a great job of getting referrals from our schools and from our pediatricians, our counselors and therapists in the area. But I'm constantly trying to go out and do talks to school systems, counselors, and social work departments so that they are aware of the services that we have to offer. When grief steps in, there's a lot of financial burden on these families. And so to be able to have a place where children from the ages of 4 to 18 can come and get a grief support service free of charge, it impacts those children and families' lives very much. We are very fortunate that the Junior League of Jackson has been a part of us since our existence in 1999. They came on in the planning stages and said yes, they would be willing to take this on as a project. In the last 10 years, we have had that directly impact our grief support groups, somewhere between 40 to 50 volunteers each year. We not only have Junior League volunteers, but we also have folks from the community who are a part of our volunteer base.
For 20 years, we have followed our mission of walking alongside children and adolescents and families who are grieving. And we're just so grateful to have the support and the financial support and the emotional support that we've had for 20 years, and hope it will continue for another many, many years to come.
My wife and I knew the Fletchers at the time of McClean's untimely death, and we are grateful to them for helping to turn such a tragedy into such a positive institution that helps so many people who have experienced the grief of during childhood of a loved one. Having had my own experience of childhood grief, I am very grateful that Kathy Woodliff and the other pioneers of this organization have made it available to children, something that was not available for me when I was struggling with the loss of a parent at a young age.
I'm just thankful and grateful for Kathy Woodliff's vision that a center needed to exist like this in Mississippi so that children would have a safe place where they could come and share their thoughts and their feelings, and they would not be judged. And I'm thankful for the Fletchers for allowing us to name this center after their daughter and the impact that McClean's life has made on so many children in the last 20 years.
You know, McClean's not here today to provide physical healing to children like she hoped and she dreamed, but she lives on here through the McClean Center and provides emotional healing for so many children and so many families that they wouldn't otherwise have.